am back out as well in a very familiar location for the channel, and that's the Grey Mare's Tail Waterfall and Nature Reserve, which is 12 miles north of Moffat, or northeast if you want to be accurate, on the Selkirk Road. Anyway, got a couple of reasons why I'm out, as if you ever need a reason to come out in such a spectacular location. I got a new drone a week or so ago, and I've just been itching to use it and give it a proper field test. So this is a ideal opportunity. I'm going to show you properly later on, because I've also got an absolute banger of a snack that we'll get to when we get our little snack spot, you know. In terms of route today, there's no real thought or aim in mind. It's literally just blue sky day, warm already. It's only just after 9, about 14 degrees and rising quick. So it's just a very good opportunity to get out and get a little morning hike. I'll be going at least as far as Loch Skene, and maybe a bit higher than that looking down. I don't expect I'll go as high as any of the named summits though, but it'll give us enough to test out the kit and give us enough to get a wee day out in the hills. So I'll join you back as I'm walking, give you some overlay as well of part of this route. For the ones that don't really know this route right now, see behind me, it's a lot of steps and you gain your height quick, but it's just such a fantastic route. It really is a stunner. So anyway, I'll check back a bit further in, probably once I'm past the stepy point, and I'll let you know what we're doing. Aye. So, you heard right on the intro when I said that I have a new drone, and it's not a replacement drone, it's an additional drone, and straight away it's allowing me to do exactly what I'm doing right now, and that's be able to walk and do, well, I wouldn't say a scramble, but you know, a little bit of hand to rock, but definitely keep my hands free and talk to the camera at the same time. So straight away, bonus. So that's one wee tick box. It works with the DJI mic. Right, as you've probably seen already, just that's me making the crossing over the first water section, and I'm actually heading up Whitecombe, the highest corbett of this area. So I'll get up there, get that touched, and then I'm going to look to make my kind of snack stop when we get down to Loch Skene. I'm just hoping it's not too busy by then. It was one of the reasons why I came out extra early this morning, just to want to beat the people, you know, get up before them. Yeah, already I've met a few folk coming down, you know, which again, when I'm talking about the drones, because that is the kind of focus of today's video, is the drones and the different ones. The DJI Mini 3 that I have, that's in my bag, it's a lot quieter and it goes a lot higher as well, so you can often use that thing without anyone really noticing. With this DJI Neo that I've brought, I'm hoping you'll see the footage. I think it'll work well and give some nice little shots and follow angles, but I say the biggest drawback so far is it's a noisy wee bugger. So yeah, I'll just spin you around now and I'll show you what's going ahead of me. Just that slog. There's a couple of drawbacks to the DJI Neo, which I'll talk en route. That being probably let's go with with number 1. I think I've got about 4, maybe 5. Not so much drawbacks, if you know it, but a couple that are well, let's just say they're it's quite annoying actually, especially when you're on these kind of hikes. So I'll talk about that a bit later on. There will be an appropriate time when it's got to come up, I feel. But at the moment, just working my way through this peat and heather path before we get to the wee rocky step. I want to call it a scrambly section, but it's more about hand on rock for stability than anything else. Anyway, I'm going to check in a bit. Right, just finishing off this wee steppy bit. So just overlaying some footage from the DJI Neo, just to see how well it does for tracking you. You know, obviously I haven't watched this back yet, so I'm hoping it comes out all right. Once we get past this spell, we're then on let's say just a slow grassy pool for the last 100 metres or so, and then that's us at the summit of Whitecombe. So, almost there. Views are looking up. Tell you what, I can see down the valley, and it looks like a cloud inversion further down. We'll see more when we get higher up, and we'll see where it comes round, but God, it looks stunning from here. I'll check back in at the top. And once more on the channel, the little cairn for Whitecombe. Mentioned this in the past, but you definitely could find a good pitching spot up here if you wanted to camp. It's very flat. It's a lot flatter than Lochhead Hill actually. The only downside is it is one of them flat hills, so your view might not be as dramatic as like say some of the ones I've done in the lakes, for example. But actually, now I'm up here, I'm looking round. Yeah, not bad at all. Yeah. I mean, there's, if I go this way, you'll see where the cloud inversion is, and there's Cripple just in the background. And then if I start bringing it around here, you know, the big, the bigger lump in the back, Hartfell. Over there, we then have Broadlaw and Lochhead Hill as well. Lochhead Hill, remember I camped on that away back February last year, -8, or this year, -18. And then just one more in the background, the big pointy one, that is Skiddaw. So I'm going to spend a couple of minutes up here and then continue my journey. That's me on the move now. Had to do a quick change of top because I went in mid-September. I think it's September the 18th perhaps today, but yeah, because it is warm, you know. Certainly for Scotland in September, it's mightily warm. So yeah, I'm just going to work my way around towards Loch Skene now. So about 20-minute or so walk over a bit of bog, couple of wee jumps to make, and then we're there. This would be around the kind of the footage where on this walk, if I wanted something a bit different, I would have added on the DJI Neo. However, comes up to the next problem. It really doesn't have a great deal of battery on it. So you get about 20 minutes max on it. So when you think about if you try and go and set it up, or maybe you need to redo a frame or something like that, you know, your kind of time goes. I did bring a couple of chargers with me to charge it up. Again, another problem with that is whatever cable I've brought for it, I brought one of the VC cables, it hasn't taken a liking to it. So I have to go back to find out what cables works with it. Again, it's a bit annoying because it's not quite as user friendly that way as it should be. So there's my feedback on a couple of negatives. Obviously there's obviously negatives you can add on in terms of like it doesn't do the same job as even the minis or the big ones. It's not designed to do. It's not designed to go too high. It's one of its drawbacks, again, you could say, is that it has a wind resistance rating of 4 compared to 5, which just means that it won't take the same levels of wind that the Mini will take. But again, we're talking small things here, and that's not a problem if you've got the blend. I would say for someone who's just starting out and is maybe you want to use their, I mean there's lots of ways you would use that Neo for like short 10 metre sections. The Mini, as I just used it there on the Summit, allows for a bigger range. I only did one big circle on it this time, but there's times where you want to take it a big flyby and have it really quite high up, 200-300 metres up, whereas this won't allow for that one. So that's where the kind of changes come in. It's not so much a negative, but how they differ. I'll talk a bit more about what else it differs from as we get further on as we walk. Say I'm currently going straight along the path, but normally what I do by now is I normally kind of hop straight down there and just go as the crow flies. I kind of find that's the quicker route. But there's just one wee point there where you have to then go, watch out for the water. But at the moment I'm following the path, and I think I might just stick to the path for a while and make it a bit easy for myself today. And then let's say I'm going across, I think it's called Mid Craig Hill. Yes, I'm going over Mid Craig Hill, and that's going to bring me down Loch Skene. So it shouldn't be long till I'm back down there. Right, so as we come over Mid Craig Hill, just on my way back down, drone footage you're getting at the moment now, it's been coming up is through the Mini 3. I just want to get some higher shots of the mountain and a bit more, so you see the scale of how it ridges down. I also just want a wee quick nose at a potential camping spot. I think I remember when I came up here, one of the very first times I ever did a high camp, I was very cautious about trying to make sure I camped out of the wind, even though there wasn't much of a wind. So I put myself in a bit of a kind of bowl, and in hindsight I'd really wished I'd camped on the spot I've just done a little 360 to. So I'm thinking I need to come up here soon and use that. And also I want to camp at the Loch White Combe. To be fair, there's just loads of spots on here I want to camp on. I do I do want to camp on that little island that's at the top end of Loch Skene. Just whether or not I can be arsed getting my feet wet, because I don't know if I really want to bring a paddleboard up for the sake of 5 or 6 metres. And I do think it's fairly shallow there, but I need to test that out. So, right, I'm on this wee steppy bit here. It's kind of much like on the way up White Combe, but it just needs a bit of care and attention. I think what I'll do is I'm going to check back in at our next little obstacle, which is a bit of a water obstacle. And I've noticed the time. I don't think I've really got the time to sit and have my lunch, which is a bit of a shame, because I've got a banger of a lunch with me, but I think I'm just going to have to keep the roll going and just get home. Aye, anyway, right, I'll check back in at the water crossing. So nailed it with the water crossing, and in this case I used the little DJI Neo for the follow-on footage. So far I've used the follow, I've used circle, I've used a droney, which is where it comes out and comes back in. I haven't used the one where it goes straight up and straight down. Can't remember what that one's called. And then there's two others. One of them I'm not sure what it is. Another one is you can set it to 3 different options using the app, the DJI app, which again is another bonus, especially if you're a DJI customer already. In my case, I can use the same app to fly this that I do with the Mini, which then means I can actually use the app to fly it. Like you know, so if I want to go manual, I can do that as well. Oh. So one last thing I'm going to say about the a little Neo, and that is the reason why I thought I'd do a video on this one, because obviously you've seen me use cameras in the past, like the Insta360, which I've got footage from it on this video. My DJI Mini 3 is my go-to drone, which very much covers me for everything. It's negative, it's just its ease of use. Like you have to unfold it, set it up, wait for it to get satellites, and then you're good. This wee bad boy, a couple of taps on the button, and you're good to go without any app. But the absolute biggest selling point, and this is why I wanted it to bring it up in this video, was its price. It's under £200. Now, to give you content, my DJI Mini 3 Fly More combo, I think it is, but it gets extra batteries and all that stuff. I think it's only £500 or maybe £550, something like that. Certainly really dear, eh? Whereas 4K drone, a starting drone for anybody who's maybe wanting to do little vlogging. You can do this indoor as well, so this might appeal to people like gym people and PTs that maybe want to get unique footage of their, you know, maybe a 360 of a deadlift, for example, you know. It opens the door to a lot more like creators or just people who are wanting to get started out in creating. And lately I've been getting told, I've inspired a few folk to go out and do camping, and now I'm kind of trying to give you a few ideas for little bits of kit to do to create your own experience. Obviously I put mine on YouTube. Most people tend to use some form of social media to log their photos, and it is, you know, yeah, you get a few likes, whatever, and comments, but most people do it because they're logging it for themselves. I always feel adding on a drone just gives such a perspective. I mean, I sit back at times and just watch my drone footage at nights, just as instead of looking through what I used to do, photo albums back in the day, you know. So it's just another wee dimension and a great place to start. So that's my overall thing about that one. Right, I'm going to head back to my car and check back in pretty much once I've hit the bottom of the grey mare's tail, because that's me on the path now, and I've already had to keep stopping and starting this film a few times because of how busy it is. So let's just get hoofing done, and I'll check back in at base camp. Oh, I'm going to end my video here. Hope you enjoyed this one. I thought I'd give you a wee bit of it's a different insight into, you know, the new kit there. Particularly just because it's more of a budget friendly one for a change. And we can see how it again kind of works and reacts. I mean, I'd actually love to know any feedback you guys have on things you would do with a drone that I'm not currently doing, maybe with some unique shots. And also give us feedback on what you think of this area. Let's be honest. Coming up the grey mare's tail, over at Whitecombe, down Lochskeen, it just never disappoints, is it? It's just always got it. Anyway, I'm going home to enjoy the rest of this amazing day. We've got a couple of days more of this before winter probably kicks in. We've already had our first frost, just not, and then up north I've had snow. But this bizarre little heat wave, how we didn't get this when we had the summer holidays, eh? Never mind. Right, as always, for me, Robert, Moffat Mountain Adventures, I'm going to say goodbye from the Moffat Hills actually for a change, and we'll see you in the next adventure. Hopefully it's a camping trip. Yeah, I want a camping trip. Right, take care everybody, stay safe.